which just was unheard of. Scandalous for the time.
They threw stones at her car.
They were also very vilified by many people.
The woman behind all of the scandal.
It was world news.
The American woman who supposedly stole him.
I don't think she ever had any idea it would end this way.
Somewhat tragic. At the end, she was alone.
How could someone from Baltimore take down the King of England?
There was a saying going around, watch out for those Baltimore girls. Still your king.
Very, very well-connected Baltimore family.
Since 1991, Zippy Larson's feet have followed some pretty famous footsteps.
This is the church where she was married the first time, an Episcopal church.
A tour guide, with her attention solely focused on the girl from 212 Biddle Street. The Baltimore girl who became the Duchess of Windsor.
This is where her girlfriends came for tea, to gossip, sip tea, talk about one another's clothes.
A fascinating life filled with jewels, glamour, and worldwide fame.
I would give my right arm to sit down and have tea with her.
A life so intriguing.
I'm going to bring it out for you. The woman behind the man on the throne, the uncrowned king.
That Philip Batty
This was made
turned his Biddle Street basement
to commemorate that he had passed away.
into a museum dedicated to the Duchess.
I mean, not everybody can marry a prince or a king.
A collection of authentic gloves
You can smell very faint hint of her perfume.
and replica jewels.
No one else had anything like it. They were big-time fashion icons.
But the intrigue surrounding the Duchess isn't just about an American living out a fairy tale. Designer gowns draped in jewels. Like any good story, this is about the journey, and it was one paved in scandal. Let's go back. Before Edward, there was Ernest and Earl.
Her first husband had been very abusive.
Even though taboo, Wallace divorced, until a charming half-British man swept her off her feet.
Her second husband, Ernest Simpson, went to England with her, and they met the Prince of Wales directly. And the three of them were friends. They were part of a group.
He used to stop by her flat where she lived with her husband, who had a job and had to get up in the morning, and he'd stay late and late and late.
Soon, Ernest was out and the king moved in.
He just became obsessed with her, felt he couldn't live without her. And when he was told, you must choose, it is impossible for us to accept the fact that there might be a queen with two living husbands. This is just outrageous. So you must choose the crown or her. And he chose her.
The world was shocked. You know, very typical for kings to have affairs. To abdicate the throne was unheard of.
They threw stones at her car. I remember reading she had to lie down on the floor, the back of the car, because the Brits felt she had stolen their king.
They both endured a very difficult life after the abdication. You know, they were pretty much exiled from England. They were not allowed to be part of the royal family per se.
The glittering prize of the throne slipped from Simpson's grasp. Simultaneously ostracized by society and hounded by the press. She had gone from a face in the crowd to Time magazine's Woman of the Year. Never given the title of Her Royal Highness.
He was still HRH, His Royal Highness. She was given the title of Her Grace, the Duchess of Windsor.
But to Americans, she became royalty, a commoner who climbed the ranks.
She changed the way the world operated in many ways. The King of England, the most powerful throne in the world, and he gives it up to marry the woman he loves.
Mark Letzer, president of the Maryland Historical Society, says decades later, the allure of Wallace Simpson not only lingers, but continues to fascinate. After all, one of the most requested objects in their collection once belonged to the Duchess.
We're very lucky to have a dress here in the collection that was made by Hubert de Givenchy in 1954.
Given to the Historical Society by the Duchess herself.
It's just very delicate. Thin little monkeys dancing around playing instruments. It's just all handmade.
Wallis didn't just become a celebrity, she became a historical figure. The girl from 212 Biddle changed the course of the British royal family.
It appears to be a path that Meghan Markle will not have difficulty. It's paved for her. Wide and beautiful and fresh scrubbed. For Wallis, it was rough.
From prep school at Oldfields to afternoon tea at the Belvedere Hotel, the society girl from Baltimore was raised with one purpose.
Wallis was brought up to intrigue men. That's how Southern women of the era.
All these years later, it's still what she does.